Hello everyone, it's Peter at Music is a Journey. I thought that today I would give a quick introduction to each of the Sloan albums. Sloan is a Canadian rock band who just released their 14th album on September 25th. This is it back here. Yes, it's in plastic. Anyway, it's called Based on the Bestseller. And I know that, of course, Brian at Embryonic Robot on his YouTube channel, Brian showed the album. Of course, he has the vinyl. And Alex at Beer and Vinyl also showed the album. So I thought I would like to show the discography, just walk through it fairly quickly and hopefully throw in a few samples of music as well. So let's go back to early 1992 and Sloan self-released an EP called Peppermint. So the Peppermint EP includes 6 songs. It was released on their own label called Murder Records, which is named after a flock of crows, Murder of Crows. This is their Halifax underground style, so a lot of it is quite, well, underground. Lots of guitar distortion, a little bit on the heavy side sometimes, and includes an early version of one of their popular songs, Underwhelmed. So, at the same time that they were getting this album out, they actually got signed to Geffen Records. And so, shortly after, or around the same time, they released their debut album, Smeared. There's the back cover. So Smeared is still following along their Halifax underground thing, but by now they've been heavily influenced by My Bloody Valentine. So there's a lot of shoegaze on this album as well. In fact, this is the album that introduced me to shoegaze. The song Underwhelmed that I said was on Peppermint was re-recorded for this one and became one of their singles. You can find a video for it on YouTube, Underwhelmed. Also, another song on here, also, 2 other songs, Marcus Said and Sugar Tune, were both the same recordings were used for this, but they were remixed to give it a more professional sound. And then the rest of this is all new material that didn't appear on the previous albums. I think it was 500 Up was also one of the songs. I should point out that all 4 members in the band sing and write. However, on these first 2 albums here, the lead vocals are basically done by 3 of the members, although the 4th member, Andrew Scott, does actually do some half-spoken, half-sung vocals on 500 Up, and there's a video for that on YouTube as well. Don't give up all that easily, usually. Their next album, released in 1994, Twice Removed. For this one here, they decided to scale back on the distortion and concentrate more on songwriting. Their label, Geffen Records, did not like it and asked them to re-record the album. They refused, and Geffen refused to promote it. They did actually release a couple of singles on here. One is called Coax Me, sung by Chris Murphy, and the other one was called People of the Sky, sung by Andrew Scott. On this album here, everyone gets at least 2 songs, although still the majority of the lead vocals are done by Chris Murphy. If you like something more in the, I think it's closely related to maybe Pavement or some kinds of Dinosaur Jr., like less distorted, but still alt rock type of thing, then that's what this album is more about. The third full-length album is One Chord to Another, released in 1996. So after failing to get the support from Geffen Records, the band decided to take a break. Not break up, but just take a break and do other things. And then they thought, let's give it a shot for one more album. And that's this one here, One Chord to Another. This, as far as I recall, is their biggest selling album, their most commercially successful. It had 3 singles, The Good in Every One, Everything You've Done Wrong and The Lines You Amend. So 2 of those songs are sung by Patrick Pentland, who is the lead guitarist, and 1 song is sung by Jay Ferguson. This album features a variety of songs, like there's some with piano, there's some with trumpet in there, some of them a little more of a 60s feel to it. In fact, the band insisted on keeping the drum sound in a 1960s style, and their producer did not like it. So he said, don't credit me for producing the drums. Captain every day of Station Navy Blue. 1998, we see Navy Blues. And this here, although the band had started out going in a 1960s direction, they suddenly turned around and went for a 1970s style. One of the biggest songs in their catalog, Money City Maniacs, is on here, and it has a bit of an AC/DC feel to it. A lot of this is just revisiting 70s rock. We've got, again, songs with brass, songs with piano. We've got some great hard rockin' tunes. Musically, this is probably one of their most exciting albums, I think. Certainly, this is where I thought, okay, this is a band I really want to follow now. So that's Navy Blues. I think the 2 songs, Money City Maniacs and She Says What She Means, those are the 2 big ones to check out from here. Next up, a double live album, 4 nights at the Palais Royal. The Palais Royal was a venue, or is, I don't know, in Toronto, and they performed there 4 nights, all of their material, their songs from the first 4 albums, and recorded it. And I think most of the tracks on here are taken from their 2nd and 3rd show, if I remember correctly. And the final track, Underwhelmed, is actually taken from a show in Montreal. Pretty good double live album, though. Then the band closes out 1999 with Between the Bridges. Between the Bridges, again, we're going back to the 70s rock sound. I prefer the sound of the guitars here much better. This album, although it's not a concept album, it has a feel like it is because it has an intro and the songs segue into the next on both sides of the album. They do that. And there's, again, a good variety, some slower paced songs, some with clean electric guitar and piano, some more rockin' songs, and one of them even has, it's over 7 minutes long and features a variety of different riffs and guitar solos. So very cool album. Actually, still the one that I am closest to, I think. I like this one the best. 2001, Pretty Together. Cruise tonight, let's cruise past the harbor lights. So by now the band was quite solid in their popularity, although for various reasons they had decided to start scaling back on their touring. They were touring internationally before. They were, I think, starting to drop that out. The guys were, at this point here, one of them was already married. 2 of them had just dropped out of serious relationships. And so the one criticism about this album is that a lot of the songs are very slow and sentimental, especially the latter half of the album. But I still think there's loads of great material on here. The opening track, If It Feels Good, Do It, is the big song off this and one of their most well-known famous songs as well. There's also The Other Man, which is a great song. Both of those songs have videos on YouTube. There are a lot of other really good ones here. There are actually 13 tracks, plus this one has 2 bonus tracks on it. This is the Japanese edition. So I think Pretty Together shows the band really maturing in their songwriting, in spite of some people saying there are too many slow, soft, sentimental, sappy tracks. 2003, Action Packed. So the band decides to get Tom Rothrock to produce, an outside producer, to decide what songs are going to be on the album. As such, Andrew, who had just become a father, did not write very much for this album, and nothing that he wrote was selected to appear on it. So we get 2 songs by Jay Ferguson, and then the rest are all sung by Chris Murphy or Patrick Pentland, or both of them, which makes the album less popular with fans because it's not all 4 of them contributing as it had been up until now. Nevertheless, there are some really good rockin' songs on here, and The Rest of My Life was the single, which has a really cute video of some kids who are trying to perform with cardboard cutout guitars to a video of the band performing the song. Next up, they came out with A-Sides Win, and I have 2 copies because one includes 14 best of tracks plus 2 new tracks and a DVD with interviews with the band and videos of all the songs. The other one is the Japanese release, which actually includes an extra disc which has 3 more bonus tracks on there. Always got to have more Sloan, right? So A-Sides Win, their compilation of all their singles and videos up until now. 2006, Never Hear the End of It. It's buried beneath us since I wrote the thesis. Who taught you to live like that? I never asked for a neighbor like you to run around and around like a wrecking ball. Just how this happened is up for debate. This is a double album, but Sloan's double albums are not particularly long. Their albums are usually about 30 to 35 minutes, so we're about 70 minutes here. There are 30 tracks on this album, and it is just everybody doing a little bit of everything. We get some piano rockers, we get a hardcore punk song, we get some more hard, heavy alternative rock, we also get some light, beautiful things. We even get a touch of shoegaze and stuff in here, so quite a variety. Who Taught You to Live Like That and Ill Placed Trust are the 2 songs off this album that had videos that were released as singles. Who Taught You to Live Like That is a fun, upbeat piano rocker style sung by Jay Ferguson, and Ill Placed Trust is sung by Patrick Pentland, more of a alternative rock, I guess, style song. The only thing, the criticism that there is on this is that there are just so many short tracks of barely a minute or under 2 minutes. They're good, but they wrap up so soon. And some of them are just kind of short ideas put in as a transition from, one track to another. There's this short thing in the middle. So probably they could have released this as a double album of maybe 24 songs. But anyway, for some people, this is still one of their favorites. Won't you stop chasing the dragon tonight? Won't you stop? I wanna walk through the fire and burn for it. 2008, they released Parallel Play, and by now the band have their own rehearsal space, their own studio, and they can basically go in and record whenever they feel like it. So the reason why the album is called Parallel Play is because it is a child psychology term where kids are all in the same room playing but not together. So that's kind of what's happening here. The band they're multi-instrumentalists, they can play bass and guitar and keyboards, or bass, guitar, and drums, whatever. So they can do a lot of recording on their own, and that's what was kind of happening here. But it is a complete album. Everybody's putting in 3 songs apiece. I think 3 songs apiece, and there's some really good stuff on here. Believe in Me, I think, and Witch's Wand were the 2 singles off this album. So 1 Patrick song, 1 Jay song. After that, they opened up their own web shop and they released a 5-song EP called Hit and Run for download only. They later on added a song to that, and they released a B-Sides Win, a compilation of various B-sides, bonus material, and previously unreleased material. That has since been discontinued, and now there are 2 separate songs of B-sides and previously, non-record albums, non-album songs. And some of them that were on the original B-Sides Win compilation are not included on either of those 2. Then we come up to their 20th anniversary, and they put out The Double Cross. But your daddy refused. And all of the days spent close to your crowd were few. 2 X's, of course, for 20. And this is a really good album, I think. Most of the songs on here I really enjoy listening to. One of the reviews I heard about this was that it's surprising a band this late in their career can still put out such a cohesive and good album. I'm not sure what the songs off of this were, because by now I wasn't really keeping up with their video releases, but I would recommend as one of their later albums, this is one definitely worth checking out.
She carried on, but she got carried away. Get evil, yeah, get all over it.
Next up was an idea they'd been considering for a long time, was to put out a double album where each member got one side. And because of that, that is the one thing that a lot of people say detracts from the album, because you get one voice for each side of the album rather than a blend of voices as you normally do. Like normally there would be a Chris song and a Patrick song and a Jay song and an Andrew song and a Chris song and a Jay song and like that. And here it's like all Jay and then all Chris and all Patrick, and then Andrew has Chris singing together with him. So there's a bit of variety. Actually, Chris also sings a bit with Jay as well. But there are still some really cool songs on here. My personal opinion, Jay's side is the best. Chris following close second. Patrick has some really good stuff, but he has only 4 tracks to his side. So his is the shortest side at about 12 minutes. And finally, Andrew just does one long song of 17 minutes and 47 seconds with lots and lots of change ups. So he once said that he had pieces of song ideas coming out of his ass, and it seems that he's put them all together onto that one long song called 44 Portraits. Yeah, so that was the Commonwealth, or just Commonwealth. I think it's just called Commonwealth.
There's only so much time we can kill here. Every day is a blank page.
Their 12th album, called 12, not the title they really wanted to go with, but what they ended up going with. This is what some fans say is the album where everybody starts to sound the same. I don't think so. Still, they all have their own personal stamps on here, but somehow I think the album cover coloring gives that impression that the songs are very similar. This is more of a melodic rock album, slightly bending towards shoegaze in a couple of parts, but mostly just melodic alternative rock through and through. We still get some piano on here as well. Not so much in the acoustic department though, acoustic guitar department. Then in 2022, they released their 13th album, Steady.
Something living that's worthwhile. Alone in the city. Light a candle, make a wish. Don't blow it now. It might come true.
This is a really good album, I think. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. Even though I've been enjoying the last few that I showed here, I just felt this is a really strong release. The band are doing what they've been doing for the last 10 to 15 years or so, but still putting in some surprises here and there. Chris Murphy has a country western styled song about not being able to sleep, which is interesting, but generally a very strong album, I think. Let me see. Scratch the Surface is a song. There was a video for that, and I don't remember. There was at least one other one with a video for it, but an album worth getting if, you know, near the beginning, if you're thinking about checking out albums. And that brings us to the latest album based on the bestseller.
It's true that when you wanna live forever, better take your roll locks for the drunken sailors. This is the time to ride.
So this is the band's 14th full-length album. It is also a very good album. They released on their Instagram page 4 short movie type, like movie trailer type videos for each of the members. So Chris is in a futuristic scene where he's being hunted by some bounty hunter and being shot at by a security guard with lasers. Patrick is appearing in somebody's nightmare playing the guitar and chasing the young girl down the street playing the guitar. When she wakes up, she tells her friend, like, it was just so loud. Andrew goes out in a field and finds a horseshoe, tosses the horseshoe in a very kind of cool Western style kind of way. He's got a poncho, cowboy hat, and sunglasses. And when the horseshoe goes around the metal rod in the field, a nuclear explosion sets off. And finally, Jay is looking like an Inspector Clouseau type goofy detective with a big mustache. And the funny thing was that someone commented on Andrew's video, we can't wait to see Jay's video, whatever it is he's doing, eating ice cream or something. And after Jay's Inspector Clouseau type of video, at the very end, there's a quick shot of him eating ice cream. So I think that was in response to the fans' comment. I really suspect that. Okay, so there you have it. That is a quick walk through the discography of Sloan. A lot of their stuff is available on vinyl. Certainly their latest releases are on vinyl, and they have been reissuing each of their older albums for the 20th anniversary as a 3-disc set. The original album plus then lots of bonus material. So for those of you who are not into CDs and who want a good slab of vinyl, there are Sloan albums available out there. You can check out their website. You can check out their merch store. If you can't find their stuff in usual places, they sell stuff on Bandcamp. So yeah, do check them out. I think they are a very fun and interesting band and lots of great songs. Every album I know is going to have 4 or 5 songs that I'm going to put on my master playlist of Sloan favorites. Okay, thanks for watching this video, everyone. See you in another one soon. Take care all, and bye.